Now, welcome to another one of my Sunday commentary videos, and yes, I of course realize this is getting posted on a Monday, but I wanted to watch the Gina Carano interview with Ben Shapiro before touching on this subject again to hear her side of things, and since I didn't get a chance to watch that until late last night, well, here this video is on a Monday, and since it's not going to talk much about Star Wars, I figured I'd keep the Sunday commentary title. Anyway, here to very quickly summarize for those who may not have somehow heard this whole story yet. Recently, the actress who plays or played the character Cara Dune on The Mandalorian, that be Gina Carano, was fired from the show and removed from any and all future Star Wars plans or projects for posting things on social media that they deemed abhorrent and unacceptable. And she found this all out the same way everyone else did. She found out on social media because apparently they couldn't even reach out and tell her first to tell her to brace for impact, which perhaps really begins to tell you how much or little they think of those who won't do and say exactly as they're supposed to. They're not even worth a courtesy call, it seems. And in this interview that Carano just did, she even discusses how Lucasfilm wasn't happy with her apologizing in her own words for everything she had done, for what she claims were misunderstandings, but they wanted her to say only certain things, and they wanted them said how they wanted them said, because nothing screams how much you're for strong, independent women, like making sure they say what they're supposed to. And that's mainly what I'll be talking about here, not so much the interview itself, but rather the hypocrisy of it all, the ever-growing use of terms like diversity, inclusion, and tolerance as little more than a sword and shield to defend your beliefs and attack those who don't share them, rather than actually focusing on diversity, inclusion, and tolerance, which are all things I am for, and that any decent, rational human being is for. Because, in my opinion at least, diversity in this context should be defined as something along the lines of the belief that every single person, no matter what they may look like, what gender they are, what sexuality they are, what religion they follow, or what sort of other beliefs they may or may not have, should be treated as fairly and equally as possible, and treated as their own individual, and that people should even be encouraged to be free-thinking individuals who then share their own uniqueness with the world. Everyone should be allowed to celebrate who they are as a person with no predetermination or labels placed upon them, that we should neither favor nor condemn someone in advance for any reason, including and especially because of their immutable traits that they have absolutely no control over. Every single person has the right to pursue their hopes and dreams, and to live as they see fit. Within reason, of course, you can't trounce on the rights of others, or take from others to get what you want. And personally here, there is absolutely nothing I believe in more than this. Nothing. It's the foundation of my very being, that we all deserve an equal chance at happiness, at the things we want in life, and that we should strive to treat each other well along the way. I basically live by the golden rule. I'll treat you well, like a human being who may see the world completely differently from the way I do, and all I really ask for in return is to be treated the same way. And to me, this is the very definition of tolerance, accepting people who are nothing like me, and it promotes true diversity, and it even allows us to broaden our own horizons and understandings of the world that we live in, as we try to see things from completely other views, or from the other side. And on the surface, this seems to be what Disney and Lucasfilm are all about. Their recent push for more women in Star Wars, for example, both in front and behind the camera, or in the office at Lucasfilm, appears to be evidence of trying to level the playing field, if you will, which I'm all for. Again, I'm all for equal shots for everyone, and I think it's great that we're getting more female characters in the mainstream shows and movies, because in all fairness, as someone who loves the Star Wars expanded universe, well, there really isn't much of a shortage of female characters there. The problem is, however, and this is where most of the confusion intentionally or unintentionally comes from about the fanbase, is that as a huge fan of Star Wars itself, of the story, the lore, the characters, and all of that, one of my biggest concerns, you could say, is seeing the integrity of the fictional universe, or fictional galaxy in this case, the integrity of Star Wars always maintained. I like to immerse myself in the galaxy, and so I want decisions about what stories to tell in Star Wars to be largely based off what are the best stories to tell about it. Go figure. And so though I'm all for more female characters in Star Wars, or minorities, or whatever it is, I don't want to see Star Wars used just to showcase female characters or minorities. Again, I want it to be about Star Wars. That's why I watch it. And so going along with this, when there's a character I don't like in Star Wars, and for example, I wasn't a huge fan of Rey from the sequel trilogy, I will freely criticize the character because I'm only looking at them from an in-universe or in-galaxy perspective. That's it. Again, all for more female characters, but still want them to be good, well-thought-out characters. And my dislike of Rey has absolutely nothing to do with Daisy Ridley, the actress. She can do or say or believe whatever she wants. I really don't care. It does not matter to me because I respect her rights as an individual and can separate her from the character she plays. Basically, for me, there is a very distinct separation between character and actor, story, and real life. Nevertheless, as someone who doesn't like the character of Rey, I've been accused of hating women or not wanting them in Star Wars. I've been called a full-blown misogynist because I don't like a character in a particular movie, even though one of my favorite characters in all of Star Wars is Ahsoka Tano, a female character, and another one is Mara Jade, a character a lot of people upset at me probably don't even know exists because they don't read everything like I do or care about it the way I do. Which is again why I criticize the character of Rey, because I care so much about Star Wars on the whole, not because I hate women. As I said, in general, I'm all for Disney and Lucasfilm pushing strong female characters, but apparently that's all they're for, pushing strong female characters while having little interest in promoting actual strong women. Because though you can agree or disagree with the things Gina Carano said, and I'm not saying I am for everything she has said or the way she said it, but you have to at least have a little admiration that she wasn't afraid to say these things. And one of the most poignant parts of her recent interview is when she talked about the fear of being able to just speak your mind. That so many are keeping silent because they know if they say what they want to, they'll be attacked for it. And look, I know the argument against that, which is that these people want to say dangerous or hateful things. That Gina Carano apparently said dangerous and hateful things, or that were abhorrent and unacceptable, as Lucasfilm said in their statement. And yeah, it's their right to fire her if they want to. I won't argue against that, but I will call BS about this all really being about diversity, as they say. Because if you're really for women, shouldn't you be for all women? Shouldn't you be for them saying and speaking out when they want to? Not just the ones that fall in line and say what you want them to say? And I know apparently Lucasfilm warned her and talked with her and even had her speak with people so that she could understand better what she was saying. They tried to help her save herself or her job. And again, I do think it's their right to fire her if they want to for not aligning with their company's beliefs and values or whatever. But they should at least be honest about what those beliefs are, that it's not actually diversity, inclusion, and tolerance that they're really all about. As I said at the top, that's just the sword and shield that they use to attack and or defend their actual beliefs. Because let's be honest here, and please forgive my very crude example, I'm just trying to make a point, but Gina Carano could have been a black, gay, transgender woman. She could have checked every single diversity box there is, and some that haven't even been thought up yet, and Lucasfilm still would have fired her for what she said. Which, yeah, you might say is a good thing in an odd sort of way, but it just goes to show when you strip it all away or when push comes to shove, this is only a battle over ideologies. It's not a fight over anything else. This isn't about race, gender, and all of that. Again, it's just the sword and shield they use to fight and look righteous in the process. Because even if Gina Carano had been all those things, they'd still be embracing her on the other side right now like they are, even though all those boxes she checked are supposedly things the other side can't stand. And honestly here, I'm just kind of sick of all this. I started this channel to talk Star Wars, and somehow that got me sucked into all this, because Star Wars got sucked into all this, because everything gets sucked into all this nowadays. It seems nothing and no one can just be benign and or apolitical anymore, and certainly political discussions are important. My whole life I've tried to keep myself at the very least informed politically. I don't like to be ignorant. But these last few years, I found myself embroiled in it when that was never my intent starting out here on YouTube. But the problem is I fell into the same trap everyone else does. I started to think, maybe I could say something in one of these videos that would ring true or make sense to someone. I thought I could help people see what's going on, and maybe, hopefully, I have to some degree. And as I said in my Sunday video last week, I think most people start out with good intentions and just get lost along the way, especially when you start making money from all this and or have a tremendous amount of support. Because if you're a celebrity, and I don't mean a Z-list YouTube content creator like me, but a genuine celebrity like a big name actor, and you can literally and instantly talk to millions of people by posting something on social media, and you get positive feedback and encouragement from most of them, of course you're likely to get caught up in it and keep speaking your mind and sharing your beliefs and opinions. And again, for most, I think it comes from a place of good or well-meaning intent. I think most people want to help others and to be a good person. It's even in our very nature to be social creatures and to form communities and to split off into tribes. And so maybe the worst part about all of this is we've gotten to a place of pure tribalism, or maybe it's just more apparent than ever that this is just how human beings work and always have and will, unless we try to recognize and do something about it before it's too late, before we're literally fighting in the streets. And contrary to popular belief, the split is not just along the lines of race, gender, sexuality, and all those things. It's ideologies that are truly dividing us. The Gina Carano thing really begins to show that. Because as I said, neither side really cares who you are or what you look like as long as you believe what you should. Which is not to say racism, sexism, and all of those things are dead and gone. Only that I truly feel people are far more inclined than ever to look beyond those things and instead to look at the person and who they are and what they represent, and to accept them as long as the beliefs align. And so far the greatest casualty in all this is the death of being able to or seeking to be objective, the loss of searching for what is true and right and realizing that a one-size-fits-all approach does not work when it comes to how people should or will live their lives. Well, that's all I've got for this time, and this will probably be my last Sunday commentary for a while. Not ever, but for a while, unless maybe something else crazy happens, which is bound to happen, and I will cover it if it does. Nevertheless, I do want to get back to more Star Wars, and maybe a bit more Marvel than I've done in the past. Lots of things and videos I'd like to do, especially getting back to the what-ifs and the storytelling, which I know I keep talking about, and it is coming really, really soon. Either way, if you made it this far into the video, thank you for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble, and I truly hope some good has come from it.